Hey guys, real quick, I wanted to do a follow-up video to the creative vlog transition video that I did a while back. It's gotten a ton of views and so much engagement and comments, and I absolutely love it. One of the things that I have seen though a lot, especially in the comments, is people asking about, what did you do in editing to do this or something along those lines. Now, I didn't really go into the editing at all, mainly because it's just so simple. But I'm a super visual learner, and so I totally understand that without seeing it, it can be hard to kind of wrap your head around. So I want to do a quick little video just to show you how easy it is to accomplish these transitions with a little bit of planning and shooting it right, and then in editing, you really don't have to do anything. So I'm going to use an example of I was doing kind of those whip turning, spinning transitions. This one's a little different. I'm going to go through a wedding that I just used the same transition in, mainly just to show you kind of how far and wide the uses are for something like this, and kind of how these creative transitions can really apply not just to vlogs, but to anything. So let's dive into that real quick. All right, so I'm going to open up this latest wedding that I've been working on. Because this is a great example of how to use what I'm calling kind of a whip pan transition, or you could call it like a camera spin transition. Now, the video that I used it in was the vlog transition video, but in here I'm using it in a paid gig in a wedding. So I just want to show kind of a good example of using it in the real world. So this is my timeline for the wedding, but I'm going to make a new timeline here, and I'm going to bring these two in. So real quick here, sorry, I'm switching libraries. Okay, so we're just going to call this whip pan, and let me just find those clips real quick. They're of the wedding party, which is what I had used there. So wedding party here, and the two that I had were this, so you can watch it right here. Nope, that's not it. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's further up here. Okay, so yeah, so this is the first one you can see here. So I'm just gonna bring that down. And then this is the second one, so I'm going to bring that down. So you can see here, I'm just going to extend this so we can watch it. So this is the one of the girls. You can see that I tried it a handful of times. It's harder when you whip into frame, just because you need to slow down your camera, but it needs to hit at the right spot. So that last one did. So I had already pre-cut out the part that I wanted. Actually, it looks like I missed some here. So this last whip, I'm gonna trim it just to like right there maybe. So just take like a frame or two off of that. And then this is the one of the guys. This was also my last try, but this one was easier because you're starting on the guys like this on a stable, and then you whip out. Now I can see how I went to the right, but then I came back a little bit left. I'm gonna need to get rid of that. So I'm just gonna go frame by frame here. And okay, we're out, looking at the canoes or whatever. But I want, while it's still really, you see this rolling shutter here, right? People are crooked, straight lines are crooked because I'm moving fast and the camera basically can't keep up. So I still want that will ease the transition. So I'm gonna cut right there. So that's the end. And then the nice thing is, all I need to do is put these together. And this is literally all that the edit is. So if you watch now, right here, I'm just gonna play through it. Oh, actually looks like I did the wrong. Okay, so I want to go right there. Looks like I started halfway through the other whip on the girls. Okay, so let's try this now. This should be it, where it'll just whip right through to the girls. So this was, on one side of the bridge were the guys, the groomsmen, the groom. one side of the bridge was the bride and bridesmaids. And so just again, what I did is I had my camera on a tripod. I was, pretty close to straight on right here, shooting the guys. And then I just cranked it to the right as fast as I could. And then with the girls shot, I turned around, I went over to the girls, I framed them. I went left of them so that I was looking out over the river here. I was a little left of this just to start. And then I just whipped it as hard to the right as I could and tried to stop it so that they were centered, in the frame that I wanted. One of the nice things is if you are shooting something that you can't tell if it's in reverse. So if you were just shooting, maybe a building, there was no traffic or anything like that would look out of place, you could actually start. So what you could do is you could, do this shot where you start on whatever, and then you whip it to the right as fast as you can. And then on your second shot, if you couldn't tell about playing in reverse, you could start on your subject, let's say a building, and then you could whip it to the left as hard as you could. And then what you do is you would just reverse that clip in your editor, and then that would look like you're whipping to the right. But again, that's only if it is something that you couldn't tell that was going in reverse. So no people walking, no people moving, cars, traffic, anything like that. It would be obvious that you would reverse the clip. So one last time just to show you, just a whip pan. And now this whip, one last thought, is this whip was going to this bridge, and then this is this, this one I'm starting on that same side of that bridge. So it's a very similar shot. I don't feel like I needed to add anything to it. I think it's a pretty quick transition, and it works really smoothly. I wish this photographer wasn't here, but such is life. But if you ever feel like you do need, it just needs a little bit of a help in that transition, you can go over here and you can add a cross dissolve. I'm just going to drag it here. Delete this one on the end. And then what I usually do is I just zoom into the timeline here and I make this as small as I possibly can. And that can help ease that transition. I'll show it to you here. So that actually helped get rid of the photographer a little bit. I'll go frame by frame for you. So we're starting to whip, and then it's starting to blend in that shot of the photographer, and you can still see the guy's frame a little bit, and then that goes just to girls. And so one last time, this is that transition. This can work for any of the edits that I showed in that transition video. This is basically what it is. It's just making cuts and lining it up at the right point. For the majority, I would call this in-camera transitions. Obviously, you're not making the full transition. You do need to piece it together. But all of the work is in the planning and the shooting and the executing, and very little of it is in the editor, which I think is what makes these transitions so special and so cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope it was a good follow-up to the creative transitions video. If you have any questions or if I didn't clarify anything, leave a comment below. I'm happy to answer any questions or go through it or explain anything, even make another video if that helps. I hope that this transition showed you and is applicable to the other transitions. The editing is just about the same for any of them. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to subscribe. Below, you can check out our vlogs, gear reviews, tutorial videos, and things of that nature as well. Thanks.